Well, hello guys, it is that time once again for another edition of Odds and Ends, where I read some really weird news stories from all over the world, and hey, they don't call it Odds and Ends for a reason, you know? Now, it is Thursday though, but I'm going to go get the newest issue and have it out tomorrow because I'm doing last week's issue because I got caught up with the holiday season and recent surgery, like I said in my last Odds and Ends video, and my vlog will actually show full details of the aftermath of the surgery and me talking about it, so that is my excuse. So I apologize, but I am back on schedule, and I'm sure you guys are really anxious to hear these stories as much as I'm about to read them to you. So without further ado, let's begin. Our first story comes out of England, where thanks to budget cuts, police in South Yorkshire have seen their number shrink from 3,289 officers in 2008 to fewer than 2,900 last year. The department came up with a creative solution, however, deploying 280 life-size cardboard cutouts of policemen in order to deter shoplifting. Quote, the rationale for buying them was based on research indicating previous success at reducing crime. It shows stores are working in partnership with the police to tackle retail crime and puts at the forefront of potential thieves' minds the issue that police may be nearby, a police spokesperson told London's Daily Mirror. Police say the cutouts have been effective at deterring petty crime, reducing shoplifting in some areas as much as 50%. They also admit that the $40 quote paper PCs have recently become a target of I can't talk for the life of me. Target of theft themselves, with a number of the cutouts disappearing from shop doorways or foyers. Wow. To think, life-size cardboard cutouts of police officers reducing crime by 50%. Wow. I never thought that would have happened though, but it messes with your mind. Kind of like there's a police officer there, but in reality there isn't. So it's just the way how we see things and how they go. But that's pretty smart thinking. Anyways, moving on. Our next story comes out of Sweden, where a Swedish ferry line is rethinking its retro style and ad campaign after trying to lure passengers on a nostalgia visit to the Germany and Poland of the 1940s. Stena's direct mail advertising campaign was designed to target potential customers based on their decade of birth, from the 40s throughout the 60s. The pitch to the folks born during World War II began, "Hooray, you were born in the 1940s." It went on to say, quote, "This was a delightful decade where lots of fun things happened." Since the campaign debuted, a number of people have questioned just how much fun Germany and Poland were during the Nazi era. Stena executives have apologized for, quote, unfortunate wording and say the company will be rewriting the campaign. You have got to be that stupid to not think of how Germany and Poland was in the 1940s during the World War II era. Obviously, you didn't think that through. People took it offensive, and look what happened. You made the news, and you had to make an apology. Way to go. Way to you should have thought that one out a little bit more instead of just saying, hey, you were born in the 1940s. Wasn't it great? Yeah. Born in World War II where everything was shit. Way to go, guys. Way to go. Moving on, our next story comes out of Arizona, where an alleged drug courier lost $20,000 worth of cash belonging to a drug cartel, so he asked the police to write him an excuse note. The Arizona Daily Star reports 30-year-old Demerico Alonzo Thomas of North Carolina was passing through the Tucson International Airport when he told airport authority police he had lost the cartel's money. Fearing for his life, he asked an officer to write a note to the local mafia saying airport police had seized their money. Thomas figured if he had a receipt from police, cartel members might be less likely to execute him. Thomas's plan went awry, however, when police searched him, finding $17,000 and a pair of blue jeans and another $3,000 in his wallet. He was arrested and booked into Pima County Jail on suspicion of money laundering and racketeering. Thomas allegedly told police he was paid $1,000 for each suitcase full of drug money he flew in from North Carolina. Okay, one, why would you ask police you have $20,000 worth of money and say, oh yeah, write me a note? Two, you shouldn't have gotten into the cartels and the mafia if you knew you were going to be executed if you were giving them the money. Three, you've got to be completely stupid to even go up to police and say, hey, I have $20,000 worth of money that I've been smuggling in from North Carolina to the cartels, and they paid me $1,000 for each suitcase full of drugs and all this other stuff, and look what happens. Dude, a freaking excuse note, that is just the stupidest thing I have ever heard in my entire life. Dude, you are stupid. So stupid, I just want to slap you across the face with a dildo right now, because that's how stupid you are. Anyways, moving on, our next story comes out of North Carolina, and no, this has nothing to do with that story out of Arizona. Police in Myrtle Beach say a woman wouldn't pull over for police, then called 911 and offered to stop if they pay her $300,000. According to the Sun News, Brunswick County Sheriff's deputies attempted to pull over a vehicle driven by 37-year-old Jennifer Herring around 11:30 p.m. Monday, December 10th. The sheriff's office reports saying Herring was driving about 70 miles per hour in a 45 miles per hour zone. Instead of pulling over, Herring took off, led police on a 15-minute chase. At one point, she called 911 on her cell phone and told dispatcher she would pull over for $300,000. Eventually, she wound up in a dead-end cul-de-sac, pulled into a private driveway, and was arrested. Herring was charged with driving while impaired, felony fleeing to elude arrest, driving with a revoked license, careless and reckless driving, and driving left of center. She also received a charge of failing to appear in court in an unrelated case for driving while impaired. Okay, why in the world would you want to ask police for them to pay you $300,000 only if you pulled over? You know you weren't going to get away with it, number one. Number two, the list of all those charges that you were charged with is going to be at least almost the equivalency of that money if you were put on bail, but I'm pretty much sure you're not going to be on bail, you're just going to go straight to jail. And who's stupid enough to call police while you're being chased and say, hey, pay me $300,000 and I might pull over? Yeah, how are they going to give you the money in the first place? Anyway, you are so... God, people are stupid, but this is why it's called Ordinance, because it shows the world how stupid people are. Not just here in the United States, but all over the world. But some of them are pretty cool, some of them are stupid, like these ones though, but that's just how it goes. Anyways, guys, that is it for this edition of Odds and Ends, and I really hope you guys enjoyed listening to those stories as much as like reading them to you, and I am back on schedule, so you will be getting another story here really soon. And until next time, we will see you guys there. Take it easy.